Hello everyone, it's Marie from Skeletorama again. Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody? So we are back part 2 of this here. So we got this put together and back on and lights, and the lights are functioning, which is always crapshoot, right? So now we're going to do all of the little fun things. So all the little candy pieces and the little buildings and all that stuff to put in there. And like I had said on the previous one, what I think I'm going to do is I've taken pictures of these basically. So as I'm building, say, this train, I'm going to have this picture on the screen so that you can see it, so I can just fast forward through, because I don't think you need me to tell you all these different things. If I do come across any specific tips, kind of like the fact that these are deceptively infuriating to do, because the wire, it just never behaves the way you want it to. It's usually, you know, not the best quality material in the world, and yeah, it doesn't behave very good. But anyways, if I come across anything like that where I'm like, you know, they really need to know about this because it'll save them a lot of frustration, I'll let you know. But so yeah, let's go ahead and get going then. I have in my little fishbowl here, fishbowl, I have the little bears, you know, obviously, because they're not going to go until last. So as I make all the little pieces of stuff, I'm going to put them in here. Actually, I'm going to set this way off to the side because I know I'm going to knock this all over the place. I already just stuck it with something. I just can't have nice things. Okay, so put this over to the side. So as I complete each little thing, I'm going to put it in here for safekeeping. So what I'm going to do is, since it would be really long for me to walk you through every single step of this, and some of them are really easy. I have the instructions here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pictures from here and here, and then in Premiere I'll put, you know, I'll have this little section as I'm doing the thing kind of at the bottom of the screen maybe, so that way you can see what the instructions are, you can see what I'm doing, and I can fast forward and do music, and it's going to be a little more like the normal videos for these sorts of things. Because as you can see, there's a lot of little things, but I don't think I need to talk you through, you know, cut the thing out and put the thing on there. Once was plenty, right? So that's what we'll do for all this part. And then when we come back here to the part where we are assembling everything and putting it together, that's when I'll talk through some of it, although I did take pictures of these too, so I can put these up there as well. And these are really helpful for knowing where the heck stuff goes, right? So, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So you won't see this, you'll just see stuff and hear music and watch me make things. So enjoy. As I said, deceptively irritating because this wire is really thin and I almost said a bad word there, and this is really thick, so this wants to wrap around this. They're supposed to be wrapping like at the same time, but they're not equal diameters, so what a pain. Okay, but yeah, I mean, good enough for government work. This is another example of why I keep all the extra things. I probably have extra green wire somewhere, so I'll probably need it, but I'm supposed to get 2 pieces from this and I got 1. So I'm sure I'll be figuring this out here in a minute and just wrapping it around this again, but yay! Okay, so I just want to point out that these little candies, while they are very cute, and it's a very clever idea, were their own fresh level of hell. I just want to say that because that was massively frustrating. So anyway, yeah, back to the other fun stuff. Okay, fussy cutting tip for you. So if you notice when I started cutting this piece out, because it's going to be very thin and very detailed on one side, always cut the crazy side first because I have all of this to hold on to. If I had cut the straight side and then tried to do this, it would have taken about 3 times as long. So anyway, back to what I was doing. One more tip. So on this is the building. Remember I said sometimes the buildings go over those lights. So they want you to cut this out. So depending on what size your piece is, we're going to have to cut something out of the center. Always do it when you have the largest piece. This is big enough that I wasn't worried about it. But this and an X-Acto knife, if let's say it was only to here, you know, when you're pulling with your X-Acto knife, you're going to be twisting that paper and it's going to be pulling on it, and it's going to really increase your chances of ripping it. So if this was a smaller piece or this was closer to the edge, I would have done it when it was in its full piece of paper, done that first and then cut it out. Okay. Okay, another useful tool to have is a jewel picker, and this is really good for picking up. It's got kind of sticky a little bit on each end. There's lots of different brands, but it's really good for picking up things like this, so that I can put this on the ticket booth in the right place. Okay, so jewel picker, we'll add that to the list of fun stuff to have. So sometimes this does happen where, since this is such a super thin piece, it kind of pulled some of it off. So it's not all is lost. Just going to take a little bit of my PVA glue, and I'm going to try to smooth it back on there. Might work, might not work. We'll see. Usually does. And sometimes you rip it in half. But the beauty of this is, that's why I didn't throw this away yet. Because, yeah, I saw that coming about 3 miles away. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this then is I'm going to go ahead and pull the template very, very, very carefully off of there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut another little strip of it, because I already cut this. I know this is the same length as those. So there we go. Ta-da, no harm, no foul. There's one strip there, and then with this one, oh, that's a super thick strip. We'll have to trim that up, but this one we're going to be, is that even the right one? Nope, it's not. Thank God for that. Okay. This one, we're going to be really careful when pulling the template paper off. I did a little too fast. There we go. Okay. Back to fast forward. Okay, now with this piece here, see how this one has the windows in here, but it's got some really thin supports on each side. This is an example of where you're going to cut the windows out first while you have more paper to protect the rest of what you're doing. So I always go down and down like that, and then turn it the other way, and then go and hit the other two sides. So I'm going in the same direction because it's going to pull that paper. We don't want it to tear it. Voila. So what I've done now is, while these were kind of drying and setting up, I went ahead and made all the little bits, or pulled them out of the fish where they were living. The ones that I made were things like these, where it's got the flowers hanging from the leaves. I went ahead and glued them to the leaves, stuff like that. Cut these out of the main polymer clay thing. Some of them they have cut in half. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and glue this stuff here into here, and I'll put it on fast forward while I do so, and I'll come back to you when all the little bits are in there. There we have it. It is done. Is everything exactly where it's supposed to be? No. Is it ever going to be? Probably not, because, you know, any little adjustments I had to make, because sometimes like this is sticking out just a little bit too much, because, you know, when you put super glue down after a minute, you do have to commit. So I committed, so things are a little off, but yeah, whatever. It's still very cute. And let's see it with its lights on. Ta-da! See? So not too difficult overall. I mean, it's very fiddly. So this would not be for like an 8-year-old kid. They would just rage quit so hard with this thing. I'm a grown-ass adult and I wanted to rage quit several times during this thing, but once it's done, you're like, oh, you know what, that's really cute. So let's get this little stand here. Of course, as soon as I put it on that, you're not gonna be able to see it, but hey, look, I remembered how it goes. Ta-da! And so it'll sit on its little stand like that on your shelf, like so. So cool. So I will most likely be doing a larger kit as well, depending on how long it takes to edit this down, because that's rather difficult. And I do want to apologize for the lighting during parts of it, especially at the beginning. I don't know what the hell's going on with my phone, but it's being very difficult. So what it shows you on the screen and you're like, oh, that looks great. And then you bring it in and it's like, what's this whitewash nightmare? So yeah, Shimada High is what it is. So anyways, I'll be back with that. And then I've got actually a new kit on Etsy that I'm going to work on for portraits, because I've got the other new dollhouse, plus I've got the 2-room edition for the Allison Jr. that I'm going to do, which is the Mad Scientist one. And I want some portraits. I have some beautiful frames that I will be doing a project with on here of how to take resin and get a metal finish that looks like a metal finish, not like you painted it with your favorite metallic paint. So I actually came across it by accident one day when I was messing around with some resin casting. So anyways, I will be doing all of that. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Bye.